Hey everybody, welcome to another Thursday Chat with Troy. Appreciate you joining us. This is where I answer your questions. If you have a question after watching this, just leave it down below in the comments. And also, as I've always stated, if you have any questions about anything I may mention or any YouTube channels I may mention, just check the description box below. Hit show more down below the video. It'll open up that description box for you. There's a ton of information in there for you. Got another list of questions here. Let's get to it. Let's see. My brother Matt up in Alaska. How you and Holly doing, man? Question. Of all the barbecue techniques that you've used, whether it's beef, seafood, or chicken, what's your favorite technique and have you improved on that technique? Man, it'd have to be some barbecue for sure. I mean, I've really come a long way with how my ribs turn out, my pork ribs, especially St. Louis. I love St. Louis ribs. I keep working on those. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way I've been cooking them on video, but you know, I just like to tweak stuff here and there. And same with the brisket, man. And I was using the black ops rub from Oak Ridge Barbecue. I was using a bunch of different rubs from all over, and you know, it's sometimes simple is better. I was watching Aaron Franklin. He just put salt and pepper on his brisket, and I tried it. Just 50-50 or 60-40 mix. You can even go 70-30 with you know, the higher percentage being the black pepper. Man, it works fabulous. That brisket just shines through. It's wonderful stuff. I've come a long way with my briskets too. Really have. When I first started cooking briskets, if you check some of my old videos, the briskets were well, they were select grade first of all, and I didn't cook them long enough, so they came out kind of tough. But you know, you live and learn. I've found just let that brisket stay on there until I can probe it tender with a toothpick or a meat probe. It goes through like room temperature butter, man. That's tender. That's what you're looking for. So just let the pit do its thing. And also, I know I've mentioned this before. I've been using a lot of Prime, USDA Prime lately, and Prime cooks faster than Select or Choice. No matter what the cut is, Prime is going to cook faster because it has a lot more marbling. So if you go up to Costco or Sam's or someplace like that and get you a USDA Prime brisket, just know ahead of time it's going to cook faster than your normal Select or Choice that you get from your local grocery. So just putting that out there for you. Appreciate the question, and Matt and Holly. Let's see. Troy Z, got a question for you. Have you seen the Hunsaker Vortex basket? If yes, what's your opinion? I've seen it, but I've not used it. I don't have any friends that I know of that use them. Looks like it would work pretty good though, especially if you're trying to maintain, and I'm sorry, it's really windy out here, folks, especially if you're trying to get that heat to maintain a solid temp from the top to the bottom. It looks like that would really work well. I'd have to get one and check it out. I think they're around $100 or something like that. But yeah, they look like they would work great. Question 2 from Troy. What's the best way to keep the bottom grate close to temp with the upper grate? I've had good luck with water in the water pan. I get about 15 to 20 degree variance on you know, the bottom rack near the water is cooler. But it's because that heat's coming up around that water pan, going up over the sides and to the dome of the Weber Smoky Mountain, and it's bouncing back down on top of that top grate. So the top grate's going to be a little bit higher in temp. It's the way that the Weber is designed. It's really hard to get a constant temp with each of the grates. You may try putting some sand or some ceramic briquettes like JB does in the water pan. But I still bet you're going to have a little bit of variance. You're not going to get the same temp at both the midsection grate level and the top grate level, just because of the design of the Weber Smoky Mountain. That's my opinion. Heavy Metal Barbecue. Have you noticed a trend in new YouTube channels that basically do nothing more than product reviews? Is this the future of YouTube? Your thoughts on this? Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I remember back when I was starting out, you get a lot of these people that make stuff, you know, the marketing people, or even just a small mom and pop shop may contact you when you're first starting out, because they know you're eager to get free products, and they're willing to give you free products if you would simply do a review and mention their product on your video. So it works out for both the new YouTuber and also the small company trying to promote their products. Honestly, I've done that for some jerky and stuff in the past. I usually try to help out the small mom and pops. If it's a larger company, though, I usually stay away from it. I get offers all the time, and I just politely thank them. No thanks. I'm not interested. But it's with the new YouTubers, it's understandable. Again, they're trying to get their name out there, and they're also trying to get products that they probably wouldn't go out and buy themselves, partly because they're probably expensive, and they just don't have the money to do that. So it's with new YouTubers. Yeah, I bet you if they start gaining subscribers, getting the 1,500 to 2,000, 2,500 subscriber range, they'll cut back on all of that, because they'll start getting bombarded with all those requests to promote stuff. So it's just part of the beast, man. Chevy 11/21/1947. Do you watch Pitmasters, or do you watch barbecue Pitmasters and Triple D? Yeah, I do. I actually have my DVR set to record anytime barbecue Pitmasters comes on, and also I like Friday nights watching Triple D, man. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I still think you should get Karen in on some of these questions. Have you ever met any of the cookers from barbecue Pitmasters? Yeah, I'm still trying to get Karen to do some of these as well. Again, it's just difficult. She doesn't want to be in front of the camera, and I can't force her to do it. So she'll do it occasionally, and I hope that satisfies your craving for Karen. I've never met anybody from barbecue Pitmasters. Be interesting. I'd like to meet Myron and Big Mo Cason, and yeah, Johnny Trigg. That'd be cool. Perhaps one day. Skylar Henry, a quick question. What do you prefer, the salt dry aged or the Umai dry age? Honestly, just for food safety factors, probably the Umai. You don't have to worry about it. You put your meat in the bag, the Umai bag, and you suck all the air out of it, and that bag protects the meat from any bacterial growth or anything like that, any of the harmful stuff, any of the bad stuff. If you're just dry aging with salt by itself in your fridge, you do run the risk of contaminants being in your fridge, or anytime you open the fridge door, contaminants can come in, and bacteria and mold and stuff can set up on your meat, and you wind up maybe losing some of your meat. You have to trim all that stuff off or cut it off. So the Umai dry bags, they're a lot safer. That would be the way I would go, 9 times out of 10. Elton's Barbecue Pit. My brother there in Norway. How you doing, Elton? I'm glad to see you back on your feet again, man. Elton had a foot injury, and he was out of commission for a little while, but he's starting to make videos again. He just put up a video last week. Glad you're back, Elton. Question for a future show. Have you ever been barbecuing for a party or family gathering and the food ended up as a failure or a fiasco? Cheers. No, I can honestly say that's never happened to me. I usually, when I have a family gathering or a bunch of friends over, I'm usually going to cook something that I'm familiar with cooking, something that I don't have to think a lot about, because I'm not only cooking, I'm entertaining and, socializing and stuff like that, or swimming, playing with the kids and stuff. So I want to cook something that's not difficult and that I've done many times before, again, so I don't have to think about it. So, no, I've never had a fiasco or any kind of failure like that. Roshan, my brother Roshan, where you at, man? Let's see, Big T. Glad you and the young lady are doing well. Yep, we're both doing fantastic. I was wondering, what is your favorite meat to cook and barbecue sauce to throw on it? I know everybody's asked you this question 4 million times. And oh yeah, do you cook in anything in a Dutch oven? I got a new one, I'm thinking about using it. Yeah, Roshan, man, I love St. Louis ribs. I really do. And I love them with some El Rabbit's barbecue. You know you want it barbecue sauce on there, the spicy edition. Fantastic, fantastic stuff, man. So yeah, that would be my favorite St. Louis ribs, but you know you want a barbecue sauce on it. I'll put links below where y'all can find El Rabbit's Barbecue and order some sauce for yourself. It's good stuff. And for the Dutch oven, man, Dutch ovens are handy to have. I love my Dutch ovens. I've got several of them. I cook chilies in them. I cook gumbos in them. Make etouffees in them, you know, crawfish or shrimp etouffees. Stew, you know. Cook down a nice roast or something in there and put some carrots and potatoes in there. Fabulous, man. Really, really good stuff. So yeah, a lot of options, man. Gumbo, that's what I would cook. All right, E-hole. Let's see here what you got. Let me flip the page here. Troy, is there any good tenderizing method for brisket before the low and slow on an offset, or is it all about the grade of the meat? It's all about the grade of the meat, in my opinion. You know, like I mentioned earlier, you know, I started out with select, and man, select's just going to be tough. It really, really is tough, man. That's hard to get tender. That's why I use at least at a minimum choice, and if I can find it, prime. Wagyu's pretty good too. Good stuff. But yeah, it's the meat itself, the grade of the meat. Get the best grade of meat that you can, and it'll pay off in the end. Now, I've never tenderized any kind of a brisket or any big cut like that. I suppose you could marinate it overnight in a big tub or something, but I've never done that. And honestly, with a big hunk of brisket like that, let me see, the one I'm thinking real quick here. The one thing that you may marinate or tenderize a brisket is when you're doing corned beef. That's the one exception. I still need to try doing a corned beef homemade. That's the only time I think I would ever tenderize or marinate any kind of brisket. Jake Edinger, great video. Troy, have you heard of the term green steak? If so, can you explain that? Thank you, kind sir. I'm not really heard of the term green steak, but I'm guessing that you're referring to when a steak's starting to go bad. You know, it starts turning brown, and you get some green, slimy, moldy look and stuff on there. That's when it's green like that, it's not for me. I'm pitching it. Of course, it usually doesn't go green or brown for that matter when it's in my house. It gets eaten. But yeah, man, that doesn't sound good, especially if it smells bad. I mean, I've had some meat that was brown and I've cooked it, but man, if it smells bad, rancid, don't just throw it out. It's not worth it. It's not gonna taste good. And I hope that's what you were talking about with green steak. I really don't know. I haven't heard that term before, but I'm guessing that's what it is. Fantasy CS, loving the shirt, T-Roy. I think he's talking about that flamingo shirt, that bright Hawaiian looking shirt that I had on that time recently. Thanks, man. I like that shirt too. Karen found that for me. What's your favorite recipe to make? Oh, that's a good one. In the kitchen, I'd say gumbo. Out on the grill, I'd say, man, it's close between, man, I love all the barbecue. I really like St. Louis ribs, but a good brisket or good pork butt, man. That's mouth-watering goodness right there. But gumbo, and chili. I like chili too. Favorite recipe to make? You know what? I'm thinking, I love making hamburger steaks with mashed potatoes and maybe some string beans on the side. Yeah, I like that even better than the gumbo, I think. So I've changed my mind. Right there, you saw it on camera. I appreciate the question, Fantasy. Smoking Hams Barbecue. Have you ever thought about making a cookbook? Cheers. My buddy Ashley. How you doing there, Ashley? Cheers to you, my friend. Let's see. I've thought about doing a cookbook. It'd probably be just an ebook, not paper bound or anything. Thought about it, and I do want to do one day, because I've got some pretty good recipes, you know. And a lot of stuff handed down, you know, through the generations, through my family and Karen's family. So it'd be nice to have those recipes in a book form, you know, so everybody can check them out. It's good stuff, though. You know, we all have great family recipes. We grew up eating that food, and You know, nobody can cook like their mom or their grandma, that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, thought about it. Stick with me, and I'll get one out eventually. But I appreciate the question, Ashley. Well, folks, that's the end of my list, man, for this episode. I just printed out what I needed to do for today. So, man, I appreciate y'all joining us. I'm still enjoying all these Q&A videos, the Thursday chats with Troy. I love it. And I'm glad that each of you are enjoying it as well. I get so many people that say that they look forward to the Thursday chat. You know, it really means a lot, and I appreciate it. So, again, please keep the questions coming. Just leave the questions you have for me down below in the comments. I'll be sure to add them to my list for a future episode. And folks, I just want to wish each of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and Happy Hanukkah. And cheers to you. Love all y'all. We'll see y'all after Christmas. And until then, y'all keep on doing what you're doing. I'll keep on doing what I'm doing. And we'll meet you back here next Thursday. Cheers, everybody. Good stuff.